Uh-oh, somebody called the local zoo.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is a steel cage match. Introducing first, from Detroit, Michigan, weighing in at 275 pounds, George Big Animal Steele.
I'm not even sure the cage can contain this man.
And strolling down the aisle, the opponent of George Steele, Peter Maivia.
Always a chaotic matchup.
His opponent from the Isle of Samoa, weighing in at 275 pounds, High Chief Peter Maivia.
Steele had better keep an eye on Maivia because Maivia is a true brawler. Few men can handle the chaos of the animal inside a steel cage, but I believe the High Chief is ready.
Maivia carrying such pride into the ring.
Very stark contrast to Steele. We'll see which prevails tonight.
High Chief Peter Maivia taking on George the Animal Steele in a steel cage match. Quite a heated history between these two guys.
Yeah, Michael, and I think it's because Maivia is one of the few superstars brave enough to take on the animal. Most of their contests have ended in countouts or disqualifications. Thanks to the cage, we'll get a decisive victory in this one.
Well, that really depends on if a cage can even contain them.
Crank in the head.
When a man like Peter Maivia signs up for a match with the animal, he doesn't know what to expect, just to expect anything in the world.
Peter Maivia knows full well that he's in for some unusual treatment tonight. In fact, Steele often has trouble finding opponents due to his erratic nature. But when it comes to competition, the High Chief wants to prove he's worthy of that name. Peter Maivia will take on any competitor, no matter the difficulty. Just cranking the head.
Peter Maivia now with the upper hand.
Yeah, Maivia has really figured the animal out here.
Lifted and completely helpless here. Lifted up. What's next?
Face first into the cage. The animal has to be elated to be in this steel cage against one of his biggest rivals, no less.
Yeah, Byron, we've seen the animal brandish a weapon against Peter Maivia before when it was from the middle rope. Oh, what a splash! And now going to start the climb up the cage. Sky high. Oh! Attempting high-risk move after high-risk move at a breakneck pace.
Look at Maivia going to work on the animal. The High Chief has all the answers right now.
Peter Maivia is looking unstoppable now.
And you can see Steele is struggling to weather the storm of the High Chief.
Gentlemen, we've touched on the differences between Maivia and Steele as competitors. One man based on order, the other on chaos, but it's reflected in their looks, too.
Indeed, Michael. Just look at the sculpted physique of the High Chief. And the tribal tattoos on his body are extremely intricate and definitely eye-catching. And Steele is, well, he's an ugly creature. Enough hair on his upper torso to classify as fur. Folds in his bald head. He's like a modern-day Neanderthal.
We've seen that Steele isn't above using a foreign object to gain the edge against Maivia. So he's got to have the advantage in a match where they're surrounded by one huge weapon, right?
Well, you'd think that, Cole, but think about how these men prepared for this match. The High Chief is a consummate professional who's game planned for this stipulation. And Steele, well, I think he just shows up to the arena and asks who he's fighting. Making a move, but is it the right moment? Boom!
George Animal Steele is not a wrestler by any stretch of the imagination, guys. He's a true brawler.
And he might be the best brawler in WWE, Michael. There is no shortage of fight in the animal.
But you know who might be a better brawler, guys? The High Chief, Peter Maivia. When you consider that Maivia is also an excellent high flyer and a great technician, well, you can see why the High Chief is the favorite in this match, even with the steel cage stipulation.
Ah, what a smash!
That is just insulting.
Well, that'll do some serious damage. Momentum is all with Maivia now.
A series of disabling maneuvers from Peter Maivia. Right in the mouth, relentless.
Enough already.
George Animal Steele might be a bit of an underdog here. In fact, he lost the match by countout to the High Chief.
In Steele's defense, I'm not sure he knows how to count exactly or how to read a rule book. So he's got to be happy to be in this cage.
Well, Maivia is called the High Chief in part because of his commanding presence in the ring. He's more than ready for what the animal will throw at him, even inside a cage.
And George is caught. Oh, man, backbreaker. And George is laid out. And now placed in the corner.
He's trying to make his way up the cage.
Taking it step by step, climbing onwards and upwards.
Choosing to climb up the wall of the cage here. And he's got a long way down now from the top of the cage.
Oh, ouch.
Crash land. Uh-oh.
I can't look. Just don't.
No.
Went for the glory and the big move, but the rip.
Into the pin. George is trying to seal this one up. The count was stopped before it started.
I'm having a hard time believing that one.
He's able to counter that. Peter Maivia very tough, but he also has movie once more, setting it up.
Oh, that might have just broken something. Is it enough? Is it enough for Peter Maivia?
Not an easy climb, even when you aren't in the middle of a match.
Having a seat at the very top of the steel cage. Victory could be close at hand, but first he's got to get himself over the top of the cage.
You can almost taste it now.
Having a problem lifting that other leg over.
And the High Chief defeats the animal.
Here is your winner, High Chief Peter Maivia.
Anytime these two have faced off, it's been eye for an eye. But the steel cage has finally delivered a decisive victory for the High Chief, Peter Maivia.
George Steele is one tough animal, but the way Maivia faced him in the cage tonight just reinforced what everyone already knew, that the High Chief is one tough Samoan.